You're applying for MBA programs, but you're not sure how to choose which ones are best for you. Be sure to watch this video. My name is Laura Nelson. I'm an admissions consultant at Target Test Prep with 15 years of experience. I've helped hundreds of candidates secure coveted admissions to top MBA programs. An MBA is a huge investment of time and money, not just in terms of the cost to attend, but also because it takes you out of the workforce for nearly 2 years. As a result, it's incredibly important that you select a program that will suit your needs in more ways than one. So yes, an MBA, hopefully, is a ticket to your future career goals. It's also important that you feel connected to the program environment and culture too. If you're happy in your environment, you'll do better work and you'll more likely set yourself up for success following graduation. In this video, I'm going to discuss some of the key aspects to take into account when you're evaluating MBA programs. So they include admissibility, professional goals, curriculum and programming, culture, environment, and the alumni network. So take note, I didn't include price or affordability on this list. All of the top MBA programs are expensive and cost should definitely be a consideration for you. You should definitely look into which programs offer funding for your profile, and that's a conversation that is very specific to an individual's situation, sponsorship, funding sources, and more. So let's dive into each of these. So the first factor to consider when evaluating MBA programs is their admissibility. So what do I mean by admissibility? Do you fit the key criteria for admission? In other words, do you have a chance of getting in? Take a look at the most recent class profiles for your target MBA programs to learn a little more. So for example, I love how Kellogg has laid out all of this information for the class of 2025. You can see detailed information for the average GPA along with their total range. You can see the average GMAT along with their total range, and you can see median verbal GRE scores and median quant GRE scores along with the total ranges for that class. So the class profiles for each of these top MBA programs will give you an idea for how your candidacy calibrates with the types of candidates they're admitting in their most recent class. If your scores are within these ranges, that doesn't mean you're automatically accepted or even a sure thing. However, if your GPA is like a 2.2, you're not in great shape for a program like Kellogg. I want you to take note that these programs get more competitive each year. These are just the stats we know from the class of 2025, and every year, the new batch pushes the envelope. And of course, keep in mind that GPA and test scores are only one aspect of your application. But this is a great place to start. The second important consideration when evaluating MBA programs is your professional goals. You need to understand how well your target programs can facilitate your career goals and whether there's a clear path from where you are today to where you want to be post-graduation. There's a couple resources you can leverage to understand this better. So first, take a look at a program's employment report. There's tons of great information in each of these that will help you understand who recruits at the program, which areas students focus on in terms of industry and function, and what they get paid. So I'll refer to an example. If you take a look at the internship and full-time job data for the classes of 2023 and 2024 at Wharton, you're going to see that the cohort gravitates heavily toward financial services and consulting. Wharton, as you might already know, has a very strong reputation for financial services, and some say it's the best program in the world for that. However, is it the only school where you can land a job in finance? Absolutely not. But you're going to find a strong concentration of students interested in finance at Wharton. Then take a look at the Career Management Center resources at your target programs. This is crucial if you're recruiting for jobs on campus, but perhaps even more important if you're recruiting for roles outside the traditional recruiting process. Make sure that the program offers the support you need to reach your goals for your internship and your immediate post-MBA job. The third important consideration to keep in mind as you evaluate MBA programs are their curricula and programming. So make sure that your target MBA program has the right offerings in your area or areas of interest. I'm talking about elective courses, programs like concentrations and certificates, and experiential learning opportunities, things like that. You can start learning about these aspects online on the program websites, but make sure that you follow up with current students to learn a little more. Take a look at Fuqua's website. I really like how they have this all laid out. So there's a section that outlines the curriculum, including core courses and electives. Next, there's a section for concentrations and certificates. So Fuqua has a number of areas of concentration and a couple certificates in finance and healthcare. There's a separate section for experiential learning that's definitely worth a look. And then finally, global opportunities. They're very popular among top MBA programs, and if this is important to you, make sure that your target programs offer something you're interested in. There's a brief overview of how you can explore in terms of curriculum, programming, and other opportunities, but again, definitely supplement your online research by talking with students. The fourth aspect to consider when evaluating MBA programs are their cultures. Some candidates are really dialed into the type of student culture that they're seeking in their MBA experience, whereas others are less focused on it. But I think this is really important to consider when selecting MBA programs. So think about the type of environment that you thrive in and what you desire from your business school experience. Do you want to be in a highly collaborative culture, or would you prefer to join a more competitive program? What's the vibe that you're looking for? You really need to talk to people within that MBA program to learn this. So start with researching program cultures through info sessions, and then graduate to coffee chats and one-on-one conversations with current students. Through these, you'll really gain a behind-the-scenes perspective on how the cohorts operate, and you'll start to form an opinion on what might work best for you. Some students really gravitate toward the team-oriented cultures at Fuqua and Kellogg, and others may go in a different direction. And that's totally okay. This is a personal choice that should align with who you are, how you prefer to learn, and how you collaborate. There's often a top choice for many candidates, but keep an open mind to other possibilities. The fifth aspect to consider are their environments. Some candidates might think that this is a superficial consideration, but I think it's really important. So if you gravitate toward cities, you may have an affinity for options in cities. If you prefer college campuses, college towns, more rural areas, you might gravitate in that direction. Ask yourself whether you're considering trying something new for 2 years. It's okay to have a preference, and it's okay not to want to pack your life for 2 years and move to the woods. It's better to know now than down the line after you invested countless hours into your application and paid an application fee. So I recommend you take a hard look at where these programs are based, talk with students, and understand the differences. Attending CBS and Stern in New York City is very different than moving to Hanover, New Hampshire, where Tuck is located, which is also very different than moving to Westwood in LA, where Anderson is located. They all have their pros and cons, but you have to learn and think about what works for you. This is a 2-year investment. It's 2 years of your life, and you want to enjoy your life outside business school as well. The sixth and final criteria I will cover in this video is a program's alumni network. So let's face it, you are going to be an alum of an MBA program for much longer than you will be a student. So it's important to take a long lens on your decision. Do some digging on the alumni network at your target programs to understand what this looks like. Some of the questions you might ask yourself include the following. Do alums have a strong presence in your region, nationwide, and globally? How active and connected are the program's alums? How willing are the program's alums to take your call? There are plenty of ways to learn more about this. So first, take a look at a program's alumni club pages, talk with current students, and review employment data to understand where the alums go after graduation. Also, check out alumni activity on LinkedIn. A lot of people underestimate this, but the value of the MBA degree is in the relationships you make with the people in your cohort and the alumni network you join. Choose wisely. I hope this helped you think through some of the important criteria to evaluate when determining which MBA programs to apply to and attend. However, you need not go through this process alone. If you would benefit from an experienced partner, advisor, and expert on the MBA admissions process for top programs, book a free consult with one of Target Test Prep's experienced MBA admissions consultants today.